Hello tanks and tankettes, welcome to a bit of live gameplay, and don't worry, it's not going to be artillery. The reason I'm looking at my British arty, my tier 9 British arty, is that, as many of you know, I actually went down the UK arty line in an effort to get the UK Technical Engineer Award. But Wargaming kind of fouled up my plans by adding in a whole new branch of tank destroyers plus half a branch of light and medium tanks, and as you can see I'm up to the Firefly and the Achilles, so those are the ones I'm going to be playing today. But it basically means the technical engineer achievement has been somewhat moved back. If we can just quickly look at the awards, we shall see. There we go. I need those four. I need the 7, 8, 9 and 10 of the new British tank destroyers. They're not particularly ones I want to play. It's just like with the artillery, it's not that I desperately want to play these new tank destroyers, it's because they're there and I still want the technical engineer badge. So yeah, I've started down that line, and yeah, I haven't played that in a while. So that's what we're going to play today. We're going to play the Sherman Firefly, and we're going to play the Achilles. I'm actually going to start off with the Firefly. Now, I don't actually have it fully elited yet in terms of the modules. I need the top turret, and in order to get the top turret I need a little bit more XP. Now this is a ×3 weekend as well, so we might actually get quite lucky in terms of, like, one good match could give me enough XP for the turret, and then I can actually have this thing fully upgraded. I can also put some equipment on, because with stock tracks, which is what I had for a while, you really can't fit a whole lot on here. So we're actually going to put on a medium gun rammer, and do I want a gun line drive? I should be looking at the stats really. 2.3 aim time. What's the top gun aim time? I've actually got the top 17 pounders unlocked because of course I've played the rest of the Brits. So in terms of guns for the new line, there's not that many guns I actually need to research. It's the stuff that gets you to the guns. I don't think we'll have or maybe I should. Or maybe I don't know actually what. I don't know what would be more useful, like camo net, or we'll just go with the toolbox for now, I think. Anyway, so let's jump into battle. Hope that the matchmaking is not too harsh. With this gun, I mean, it's not terrible. It's basically a slow Sherman at the moment with 128mm of pen, so I can't afford to be too aggressive with this. Like the biggest downside of the Firefly, it gets a very, very high pen gun for a tier 6 medium, but the mobility is very, very lackluster compared to the rest of the Shermans, even compared to the Sherman Jumbo. Actually, no, it's probably about on a par with the Sherman Jumbo. I'd have to look up the stats. Having said, oh, it's like the Sherman Jumbo. Also, a rare, wild sighting of the TOG. You're not actually going to be able to buy a TOG for that much longer, just in-game anyway, and in the regular gift shop. Wargaming are removing a bunch of the, in fact most of the limited matchmaking premiums, which basically includes every British premium except the Sexton. Not that there's many British premiums, there's only the Excelsior and the TOG at the moment, but both of those are going to be taken out. So if you're desperate for either an Excelsior or a TOG, well, why would anyone be desperate for an Excelsior? I don't know, but you've got a sort of, at this point, limited window in which to actually get those. So, is anyone going to the middle? Yes, we do have a bunch of people going to the middle. That's fine. It's actually probably, yeah, it is probably comparable to the E2, the Sherman Jumbo, in terms of how it moves around. It's just, of course, the Sherman Jumbo has got a bunch of armour, whereas this really doesn't. It's more reliant on its gun and staying back and not getting hit. Now there's a Cromwell. I think the Cromwell definitely beats this as an all-rounder. Although the accuracy changes didn't especially help it, just because of the playstyle of the Cromwell. Oh, can we get a shot on Mr. Chaffee over there? Maybe. Now, if he just sits still long enough for me to pump a couple of shots into him, that'd be awfully nice. But he might not. Also, that's a T25 on my flank, so let's see if we can hit him a bunch of times, although he's got a nice gun, so I'll have to be careful. Oh, yeah, I don't want to damage the engine, that's not good. Come on, repair the tracks! I'm glad I actually put the repair kit on now. That was a nice bounce. I had a couple of bounces there. I managed to punish him fairly hard for that. I'll pop out and shoot him again. Ooh, no, I can't because I just ran into that beam. Well done me. Where are you? Where did you go? Boom, there we go. Right, that's him out of the way. See if I can get some sneaky flank shots in. Although, they might have stuff along the zero line, so I don't want to go, whoa, hello, that's KV-85. I don't want to go too gung-ho. Right, is he paying attention to me? Not especially. Wow, that was a terrible shot. Not even going to pretend that was anything other than a really terrible shot. Whoa. Right. I don't want to sit in front of his gun too long. Oh, our ARL died, which is not good. 6, 250s behind the church. This is literally the first game I've played today, so I might be a little bit not at my finest, but that's okay. This is not looking too great actually. We really need some of those other people to... Oh, that's a bit annoying. We need some other people to, like all these heavies behind us, to step up the pace a little bit. Although, saying step up the pace, it's Tog and a Churchill 7. Our KV-85 doesn't have that excuse though. Right, so I've done a bit of damage already, but I don't want to poke my nose out too far because this is a bunch of heavy tanks. There we go. Right, that's one down. What's that? T150. I mean, I think we are fairly comfortably winning this. Whoa, hello. Someone was shooting from somewhere. Whoa. Is he looking this way? Yes. Well, that would of course be the logical place to be looking. I'm quite content to wait for backup here. There's no point rushing in and dying. What I really want to do is have a chance to just get some sneaky extra damage, just be a support gun.
We didn't even scratch them.
And get that little bit more XP. Oh, I am struggling with the front of this T150 with this gun.
We didn't even scratch them.
I might actually go to my Prem AP. No, don't angle.
Penetration.
We're going to get another shot in. Maybe. Yeah, that's a very, very chancy target. Oh, there we go. That's a hit. Might want to shoot this KV-85. I hope he's distracted. No, he was just sat there waiting for me. Okay. Wow. Great shot. That bounced down. No, I really can't aim effectively with this gun. The fact that he was sat there the entire time just waiting for me, well, I got to give him something for patience, I suppose. Is he still looking at me? Wow. That's dedication. Anyway. So I threw away a few credits with the premium AP, but it doesn't matter. I feel like I contributed a little bit to this battle. I can't wait to see what it's like with the Top Gun, but I know the mobility's not going to get any better. Like, this is as good as it gets in terms of how well it moves around the place. Which, compared to some of the higher tier British mediums, it's like British mediums generally, you get the Cromwell and the Comet are the only ones that have any kind of turn of speed, and of course the Cromwell's got a very good turn of speed, but none of the other British mediums are really like that at all, and even the Comet's not that great. Right, he can potentially... I just want his side armor. Can I get the kill? I was going to say, actually, he probably can't one-shot me, not with 240 average. There we go. Yay, final kill. That wasn't too awful, and our Tog got Top Gun, because of course the Tog is OP, as everybody knows. Well, that was quite nice. That was just jumping in and the first game of the day being a win, so that, with times 3 XP, top scorer on the team, that lets me get the turret. I can spend 58 free XP, I think we can afford that. And that means I can go and get the top turret, and then I can put on the Top Gun, and hey presto, I now have a fully decked out Sherman Firefly. So that's alright. But we won't try that today. I wanted to look at camo. Service, there we go. We'll make sure I've just got all the stuff on it I want. I probably don't want many APCR rounds for that. But yeah, we'll go on to the Achilles next, which is actually it's got, I think I'm right in saying, more mobility, but the turret turns slower. And again, because I've gone down the other British TD line, I had the guns for this already, so it's not been. This has actually been less of a grind than the Firefly. And also, I had a pretty good British TD crew. I've actually got, where are we? It doesn't happen often that I steal a crew from something to put into something else, but in this case I took my 82 crew, because the 82 I just kept for fun, and I thought, okay, that was a fairly decent crew, so rather than steal one of my high tier crews, I put that crew into the Achilles. So they're all quite good, apart from the radio operator, who I had to steal to put in there especially. So let's put on a pair of binos and hit the battle button and see what happens. Hopefully the matchmaking is as good. We shall see. But it really is oh no, there we go, that is actually good matchmaking, although we're on swamp, so that part's not so good. Yes, Wargaming have been talking about maps, you know, candidates for removal. I really hope swamp is one of them, because the fact that they've taken away and tried to fix it multiple times and it still just doesn't really work as a map. I think it's time to give up on swamp, to be honest. I'm not sure if it can be redeemed at this point. So there's a pair of arty on the enemy team who are platooned. We're going to have to be wary of that. Churchill 7 and an M6. A couple of tank destroyers. The ELCs, actually, if the ELCs on the enemy team are driven competently, they could have a big impact on the outcome of the match, as could the T-67. They could be potentially very sneaky. So yeah, it has a look at this. This turret traverse is painful, but the actual speed of it is not too bad at all. And you also get the gun depression. It's okay. It's better, I think, than the. That's another thing that the Sherman Firefly suffers from, is poor gun depression. This is a bit better, but it's still not as good as. Again, I don't know why I'm comparing it to other British mediums, but it's not as good. Can we get... Where are you, Mr. KV1? Oh, that's an unlucky miss.
We've damaged them.
Be careful not to get spotted here. No shots on the Nashorn. I mean, it's the same. It's the M10 hull. It's basically a Wolverine with a 17-pounder. But it's... oh, that's a bunch of stuff pushing across the bridge. It's not really armour to be relied upon. Now, I'm not quite sure what this team is doing, to be honest.
Enemy armor is damaged.
This is not especially good. And I'm spotted, so let's pull back, pull back, pull back. It's literally me, a Covenanter, and a Wolverine. And it looks like everyone else went north. So much for the Covenanter. I might have to run away here. I don't really think there's much hope of me holding back any of this. Right, let's not bother firing at that Churchill. Come on, binoculars. We really need artillery support here. Let's see if Artie's paying attention, because there's not a whole lot that can stop these guys just pushing up. I'm spotted. I'm not Artie safe here especially either, so yeah, there it is. You can hug the wall, but the gun depression on this, like I said, better than the Firefly, but it's still not massively great. I'm going to have to run away here. Like, there's nothing I can do. I don't want to sit there and expose myself on that ridge for so long, because I will just get spanked for it. 3485 is going to help. I'm gonna, yeah. It looks like the Churchill and the M6, they're not really pushing up. The 88, however, is. But I know where to shoot that, and I've got enough pen to shoot that, so that ought not to be a massive problem. As long as I can remain relatively unspotted. So KV-1 is shootable. He goes forward just a bit, but he probably isn't going to. Oh, hello, there's the 88 just cresting over the ridge. It's got a relatively long aim time, and that did not hit at all, considering all the other factors. Yeah, oh, nudged the mouse a bit there. I don't quite know why our team will poured north, but that might have possibly cost us the match, but it's a bit early to call it yet, though. Oh, that bounced out. Right, the M6 died. Can't really afford to just sit and fire and fire. And oh, that's an ELC. Because well, they do still have that artillery. I think we're winning, though. I think so. Despite the somewhat unorthodox deployment of this team. I'm actually going to load up an HE shell for that ELC because, of course, the ELC's got really crap armour. Although I'm well within auto-spotting range at this point. Right, he's fired.
Target acquired.
Okay then. .58, yeah, that went in his tracks. Which is somewhat annoying. This turret traverse might actually kill me. I was thinking, yeah, HE, that'll do extra damage. No, went in his tracks. Of course it did. Well, this has been quite lackluster in terms of damage, but we held them back at least. And we actually managed to more or less win in the north. I mean, we had the VK and the KV-1S survived long enough. I don't know, I feel like if their heavies had pushed up in a coordinated way... I'm not quite sure. This was an odd match. For Swamp, this was a very odd match. Most Swamp games do not go like this at all. I mean, I'm aware this was more of a maybe it's just at the higher tiers it happens in a more kind of fixed way, but still. I almost said, oh, it's a lower tier game. Well, it's not really. It's a mid-tier game. But even so, you can get to the mid-tiers of World of Tanks without playing that many battles. So you still have... It's not quite the ultra chaos that, say, Tier 2 and Tier 3 is, but these battles can still be, even at Tier 5 and 6, quite chaotic. That's the ELC going for our arty. I could actually no. You know what? We'll stick with AP. I think I learned my lesson with the HE. But the mobility on this is nice. It's just the turret traverse sometimes is going to be a problem. I'll get a shot from here. Oh no, they managed to shotgun him. Okay then. Another win. Okay, this one wasn't really as good, to be honest. But I don't have. I'm not massively confident in this kind of, like, it's no Hellcat, it really isn't. It's not even a Wolverine, because of course the Wolverine at tier 5 has better turret traverse, and the Jackson at tier 6 has got more alpha. So I think alpha, the shell damage, it comes into it a bit. You feel a bit more confident when you know that your shell packs a certain amount of punch, whereas this, you're more reliant on hitting somebody over and over and over again to actually get the best effect. So there we go. That puts me a tad closer to the Challenger. I'm really not looking forward to the Challenger. By all accounts, it's a pretty terrible machine. It might actually be less fun than playing the artillery was, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So if you enjoyed this bit of live gameplay, you can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.